TIL That the capes the Night's Watch wear from Game of Thrones were made out of cheap Ikea rugs. I used to make my late sister laugh so much when I would refer to Jon Snow's Ikea bath mat that he always wore because she thought it was so silly. She died of cancer last summer and seeing this made me so sad. I wish I could send it to her. Probably not relevant to your post, but I didn't have anyone to tell. TIL Again, how grief can take your breath away over the smallest thing. Realistically, in several ways this is a good choice. Not only does a real fur coat cost tens of thousands of dollars, if they were real coats then Game of Thrones would be funding skin farms, which is not so cool ethically. Having fake coats from Ikea rugs means that fans creating cosplays don't have to buy expensive, and unethical coats either. Although the rugs are from Ikea, a lot of time goes into wearing the rugs so they look well used. Ever since I saw GOT's costume design, no other fantasy besides maybe LOTR compares. They all wear shiny new fantasy leather and plate mail, and it looks super fake when even the most rugged squire has armor as shiny and clean as a king, and it looks like it too. I'm so tired of movies and shows that take place in olden times depicting everyone wearing rags and an unusual amount of leather straps placed haphazardly. People liked color, fashion, and comfort even back then. My mom made my then 2-year-old as Jon Snow costume with one of those rugs. He was too young to care about Halloween, and so she dressed like Khaleesi and he was her little Jon Snow lol. The cape looked so legit, and now I know why. I didn't get very far in the books. Is it explained why the Night's Watch wear black uniforms and wield melee weapons while fighting in a snow-covered environment against enemies with bows? I took a costume design class during the height of Game of Thrones, and one of the first patterns we were given was an Ikea instruction sheet on how to make those capes. Edit typos. Amusingly, the name of the brown one, Skuld, means shield in Swedish, so it's already recognized as protection. Meanwhile, the other one is a play on the word for fuzzy. This isn't cutting corners, it's just good costume design. Would you expect them to buy actual furs for a TV show? Every show movie does this regardless of budget. Ikea was in on the joke, and released assembly instructions. Used to call them the sex blankets, then we got married and had kids, so the rugs found their way to the landfill. Roller coaster of life, I guess. Those rugs aren't cheap. Also, I have personally stood in Ikea and also Costco yelling King of the North while wearing one of those rugs. Yeah, but did you also know that because of this, these rugs were sold out for a while because people wanted to recreate the same thing at home? Well, it is a television budget after all. The producers of Game of Thrones are just really good at inconspicuously cutting corners. Am I the only one that believes that cheap and Ikea don't belong in the same sentence without some sort of negative in between? I missed Game of Thrones. I kinda want to rewatch, but just the thought of the final season stops me from doing it. Massively disappointing. Just wait until you find out every classic sci-fi ship was designed around whatever plastic parts could be reused off of children's toys. They are cheap, they are dyed sheepskins that are easily accessible, reasonably uniform, and therefore great for costumes. Like the master violinist who can make the junk violin sound great. The wardrobe people can make anything look amazing. Ikea looks like one giant movie set. Anyone remember Ikea Heights? I don't think it's cheap, I think it's creative. Art as a booklet or something like that is dedicated to this. I was an extra in S6 and S8. In S8 as a wildling white, I was in sweatpants with dirt and stuff caked on them. Today Op learns that a lot of props on TV and movies are recycled items from the real world. First time you can use the Ikea name for something and it will actually be in context. You're gonna be shocked at the kind of stuff that gets used to make props. I have the rug and walk around the house saying I'm King of the North. I probably cosplayed as Jon Snow in Ikea with the actual rug, then haha. As someone getting into LARP, this was actually a good piece of info. Thumbs up. A man of Night's Watch lives his life for the realm in a Ikea rug. People would be amazed how many set props come from Ikea and Target, oddly fitting with their whole theme of impoverished defenders. Where does it say that the rugs were cheap? I didn't read that. Fake news. Ikea and cheap don't belong in the same sentence. This piece from the GOT set really ties the room together, and they still looked better than costumes in The Witcher. I always thought they were sourced from Beyond the Wall. Rug is the Nidsage model if anyone's looking for it.